The Harley's engine ticked as it cooled in the driveway of the modest two-story house on Maple Street. Marcus Reaper Davidson stood beside his bike, double-checking the address scrawled on the crumpled paper his sister had given him 3 days ago. 247 Maple Street. This was it. He'd ridden 400 miles to deliver a single cardboard box containing their grandmother's jewelry. His sister Claire had asked him to drop it off at her friend's house, someone she'd known since college, a favor between old friends. The friend's name was Jennifer Hayes, recently divorced, trying to rebuild her life with her 8-year-old daughter. Marcus ran his hand through his long brown hair, pulling it back from his face. The late afternoon sun caught the ink on his forearms, serpents and skulls and memorial dates that told the story of a life lived hard and survived harder. His leather vest, marked with patches from the Desert Rats MC, creaked as he reached for the box. He'd planned to drop it off, exchange pleasantries for 5 minutes, and get back on the road. He had a chapter meeting in Nevada tomorrow night. The front door opened before he reached the porch. A little girl stood in the doorway, wearing a bright magenta dress that seemed too cheerful for the expression on her face. Her blonde hair was pulled into a ponytail, and her eyes were red and swollen from crying. "Are you Uncle Marcus?" she asked, her voice small and uncertain. "That's me," he said, holding up the box. "Got a delivery for your mom." The girl, Lily, nodded slowly. "She's at work. She won't be home until 7. She looked past him toward the street, then back at his face. Her lower lip trembled. Behind her, deeper in the house, Marcus heard footsteps. A man appeared, his hand settling on Lily's shoulder. He was maybe 40, clean-cut in a blue button-down shirt and gray slacks. His smile was practiced, professional, but didn't quite reach his eyes. "Can I help you?" the man asked. Marcus sized him up automatically. "Just dropping off a package for Jennifer Hayes." "I'm David, Jennifer's fiancé. I can take that for her." He extended his hand, but Lily stepped backward, pressing herself against the doorframe. "Mom said she wanted to open it when you gave it to her," Lily said quietly. "She said it was special." David's hand dropped, and something flickered across his face. "Sweetheart, I'm sure it's fine if I just put it inside." Marcus noticed how Lily's hands had curled into fists, how her breathing had gone shallow. He'd seen that look before, on faces of people who'd learned to be afraid without showing it. "Tell you what," Marcus said, his voice calm. "Your mom's expecting me to hand this to her personally. Family heirloom stuff. I'll wait until she gets home." David's smile tightened. "That's not necessary. I assure you everything will be safe with me." "I promised my sister I'd deliver it myself," Marcus replied, not moving. "Road code. We finish what we start." The two men stared at each other. The air felt thick with unspoken tension. "Please don't leave yet," Lily said suddenly, barely above a whisper. She was looking at Marcus with desperate eyes. "Please." Something in those words made Marcus's instincts flare like warning lights. He'd learned to trust that feeling. "Lily, go inside," David said, his voice firmer. His hand tightened on her shoulder. "I don't mind waiting," Marcus said. "Already rode 400 miles. What's another couple hours?" He looked at Lily. "Maybe you can show me where I can park my bike properly?" She nodded quickly and slipped under David's arm, hurrying down the porch steps toward Marcus. David watched her go, and for just a second, his mask slipped. What showed underneath was cold and furious. "Lily gets nervous around strangers," David said, the pleasant tone hollow now. "She's had trouble adjusting since the divorce. Makes up stories sometimes." Marcus had heard that before. Different words, same message. The message people used when they wanted you to dismiss what you were seeing. "She seems pretty clear to me," Marcus said evenly. Lily had reached his motorcycle, her small hand resting on the seat like she was trying to anchor herself to something solid. Marcus moved to join her, keeping himself between her and the house. David remained in the doorway, no longer smiling. "I'm going to have to ask you to leave the package and go." "Can't do that," Marcus said. "Gave my word." "Then I'll call the police and tell them there's a trespasser." Marcus pulled out his phone. "Save you the trouble. I'll call them myself. We can all wait together, and I'll explain about the delivery." David's jaw tightened. For a moment, Marcus thought he might escalate. Instead, he turned abruptly and walked back into the house, closing the door with too much force. Marcus crouched beside Lily, bringing himself to her eye level. Up close, he could see the tear tracks on her cheeks, fresh ones mixing with dried ones. "You want to tell me what's going on?" he asked gently. Lily's words came in a rush, desperate and frightened. "He's not my mom's fiancé. They only went on 3 dates and Mom said she didn't want to see him anymore because he was too intense, but he won't leave us alone. He comes by every day even though Mom told him to stop. Yesterday he was here when I got home from school, and Mom wasn't home yet. And he said he had a key, but I know he doesn't because Mom changed the locks last week." The words tumbled faster. "And today he was waiting when I got off the bus. He said Mom called and asked him to watch me, but she didn't. I know she didn't because she always texts me when she makes plans like that, and there was no text." Marcus felt something cold settle in his gut. "Did he hurt you?" "No," Lily said quickly. "But he won't let me use my phone. He took it and put it in his pocket. And he locked the back door so I can't leave. And he keeps saying I need to learn to accept him, that this is my fault for not being welcoming." She looked up at Marcus with eyes that understood too much. "I was so scared when I saw you. I thought maybe you could help, but then I thought maybe you'd just leave, and I'd be alone with him again, and Mom won't be home for 2 more hours, and something feels really wrong." Marcus's hands curled into fists, but his voice remained steady. "You did exactly right by talking to me, and I'm not going anywhere until your mom gets home, not 1 inch." "He might call the police," Lily said. "Let him," Marcus said. "I'd love to explain to the cops why a grown man is alone in a house with a little girl whose mother doesn't know he's there. If you believe in the power of observation, in trusting your instincts, and in the courage it takes to speak up when something feels wrong, then pause for a moment. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Bike Diaries. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from today, because this story will remind you that heroes come in all sizes, and sometimes the smallest voices carry the most important messages. A curtain moved in the window. David was watching them. Marcus handed his phone to Lily. "Call your mom, right now." Lily's fingers shook as she dialed. The phone rang 3 times, then a woman's voice. "Hello? Mom?" Lily's voice broke. "Mom, there's a man here." "David. He said you sent him, but you didn't, did you?" Marcus could hear the fear in Jennifer's voice. "What? No. Lily, are you okay?" "I'm outside. There's someone here, a friend of Aunt Claire's. He's helping me. But David won't leave, and he took my phone. I'm calling 911 right now," Jennifer said, shaking. "Stay outside. Stay with whoever's there. Don't go back in the house. I'll be there in 20 minutes. The call ended. Marcus took his phone back. "See? Your mom's coming. And until she gets here, you've got me." The front door opened. David stepped out, composure back in place. "Lily, your mother just called me. She's very upset that you bothered her at work. She asked me to bring you inside." "That's interesting," Marcus said, standing to his full height, 6'3" of muscle and leather. "Because she just told Lily she's calling the police about you being here." David's eyes went flat and cold. "I don't know what this child has told you, but she's troubled. She has attachment issues. She makes up stories about people for attention." "Funny," Marcus said. I've heard that exact line before. It's what guys say when they're trying to discredit someone who might tell the truth about them. I'm a respected member of this community, David said, voice hardening. I'm on the hospital board. I volunteer with youth programs, and you're a criminal on a motorcycle with gang colors. Who do you think people are going to believe? Marcus smiled without warmth. See, that's your mistake. You're assuming I care what people believe. I don't. I care about what's true. And the truth is, this little girl is terrified of you. Her mother doesn't want you here, and I'm not letting you anywhere near her until the cops show up. You're making a very big mistake. Won't be the first time, Marcus replied. But I've gotten pretty good at knowing which mistakes are worth making. Sirens wailed in the distance. David's expression shifted through calculation, anger, something like panic, before settling back into composed confidence. 2 police cars pulled up, lights flashing. 4 officers emerged, taking in the scene. A biker with club colors, a well-dressed civilian, and a crying child. Officers, David said immediately, voice smooth. Thank goodness. This man has been harassing us, refusing to leave. He's been alone with this child, and I'm concerned for her safety. One of the officers, a woman in her 40s with sharp eyes, looked at David, then Marcus, then Lily. Sir, can you explain why you're here? Marcus kept his hands visible. I'm delivering a package to Jennifer Hayes. Her daughter informed me that this man is in the house without the mother's permission, took the girl's phone, and has been holding her here. Jennifer Hayes called 911 herself about 15 minutes ago. The officer's eyes narrowed. She looked at her partner. Check if there's a 911 call from this address. The second officer spoke into his radio, listened, then nodded. Confirmed. Call came from Jennifer Hayes, reporting an ex-boyfriend refusing to leave her property and holding her daughter. The atmosphere shifted immediately. The officer's attention turned to David. Sir, I need to see some identification, the female officer said, and I need to know why you're here if the homeowner asked you to leave. David's composure cracked. This is absurd. Jennifer and I are in a relationship. We had a disagreement. That's not what she told dispatch, the officer said. She specifically used the word stalking, said you've been showing up uninvited for 3 weeks. Lily stepped forward, voice stronger with the police present. He took my phone. It's in his pocket. Mom never sent him. He said he had a key, but he doesn't. He's lying. The officer looked at David. Sir, do you have this child's phone? A long pause. Then David pulled a pink phone case from his pocket. She left it inside. I was keeping it safe. I didn't leave it anywhere, Lily said firmly. He took it from me when I tried to call my mom. Another car screeched to a stop. Jennifer Hayes jumped out, running across the lawn. Lily, baby! Lily ran to her mother. Jennifer dropped to her knees, wrapping her daughter in her arms, checking her over. Did he hurt you? Are you okay? I'm okay, Lily said, crying now. The biker stayed. He wouldn't leave me alone with him. Jennifer looked up at Marcus, tears streaming. Thank you. Oh God, thank you. She stood, still holding Lily, and faced the officers. I have a restraining order in process against this man. He's been following me, showing up at my work, waiting outside my daughter's school. I've documented everything. I have emails, texts, recordings of him refusing to leave. David's face had gone pale. Jennifer, you're overreacting. We had something special. I went on 3 dates with you, Jennifer said, voice shaking with fury. 3. And you decided that meant you owned me. You've been terrorizing us for weeks. You broke into my house. The door was unlocked. I changed the locks. You broke in. Jennifer's voice rose. You took my daughter's phone so she couldn't call for help. What were you planning to do? The silence that followed was damning. The officers moved in. Sir, we're going to need you to come with us. As they led David to the patrol car, he looked back at Marcus with pure hatred. You had no right. Had every right, Marcus said quietly. Someone asked me for help. I stayed. After the patrol cars left, Jennifer approached Marcus with Lily still clutched to her side. I don't even know your name, she said. Claire just said her brother was dropping something off. Marcus Davidson, he said, though most people call me Reaper. Jennifer laughed, slightly hysterical. Well, Reaper, you might have just saved my daughter's life. Your girl saved herself, Marcus said, looking at Lily. She spoke up. She asked for help. That takes real courage. The remaining officer returned. Miss Hayes, I need your statement, but your daughter's quick thinking potentially stopped a very dangerous situation. As Jennifer went to speak with the officer, Lily stayed beside Marcus, looking at his motorcycle. Is it fast? She asked. Pretty fast. And you ride it everywhere? Everywhere there's road. She was quiet. Thank you for staying. I was so scared you'd just go away and I'd be stuck with him. But you didn't. Marcus crouched down, meeting her eyes. You know why? She shook her head. Because you asked, he said simply. You said, please don't leave yet. That told me everything I needed to know. When someone asks for help, really asks, you can hear it in their voice. And when you hear that, you stay. No matter what. Are you a hero? Lily asked. Marcus smiled. No, kid. I'm just someone who showed up. Real heroes are the people who speak up even when they're scared. People like you. If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Bike Diaries. We bring you stories that prove heroism comes in all forms, that courage isn't measured by size or age, and that sometimes the smallest voices carry the most important messages. Tell us in the comments. Have you ever noticed something important that others missed? Your story might inspire someone else. An hour later, Marcus finally prepared to leave. Jennifer walked him to his bike, carrying the box he'd originally come to deliver. I can't believe you rode 400 miles just to drop this off, she said. Sister asked me to, Marcus said with a shrug. Family's family. Well, you're family now too, Jennifer said firmly. If you ever need anything, you call me. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. You call. Marcus nodded. Just do me a favor. Get that restraining order finalized, get cameras installed, and teach your girl that what she did today, speaking up, trusting her instincts, that's what keeps her safe. Not locks or cameras. Courage is what matters. I will, Jennifer promised. Lily came running out, clutching something. Wait, I made you something. She handed him a drawing done in crayon. A motorcycle, a little girl in a magenta dress, and a figure with long hair and a vest standing between her and a dark shadow. Above it, my hero Reaper. You spelled Reaper wrong, Marcus said, his throat tight. I know, Lily said, but you're still my hero anyway. Marcus carefully folded the drawing and tucked it into his vest pocket. You keep being brave, Lily. World needs people like you. Will you come visit us again? Road's long, Marcus said, but it's got a funny way of bringing you back to the places you're meant to be. He mounted his bike, the engine roaring to life. As he pulled away, he looked back once. Jennifer and Lily stood on the porch, waving. He raised his hand in return, then focused on the road ahead. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. Marcus thought about Lily's words. Please don't leave yet. 2 sentences that had changed everything. The road stretched before him, endless and full of possibility. Somewhere along its length, someone else might need help. Someone else might whisper a plea that couldn't be ignored. When that moment came, he'd be ready. Because that's what the road taught you, that showing up matters, that staying when it's easier to leave matters, that listening to quiet, desperate voices matters most of all. 3 months later, Marcus received a text from an unknown number. A photo. Lily at karate class, wearing a white uniform, her face fierce and determined. The message: learning to be brave every day. Thank you for showing me how. Lily. A second photo. Courthouse steps, Jennifer holding papers, smiling with relief. The caption: permanent restraining order granted. He's also being charged with stalking and attempted kidnapping. Your statement made all the difference. Marcus saved both photos, evidence that sometimes the road brought you exactly where you needed to be. He texted back, "Keep being strong, both of you. The road's always here if you need it." Because that was the truth. The road connected strangers in moments of crisis. It created families from nothing but need and courage, and the simple act of refusing to walk away. Marcus rode on, carrying with him the weight of one child's courage and the reminder that the most important thing a person could do was pay attention. To listen, to stay, to show up when it mattered most. The miles stretched ahead, full of unknown tomorrows. But for now, Marcus Davidson rode through the world with proof that heroes came in all sizes, that courage could be found in the smallest hearts, and that sometimes the most important thing a person could do was hear a plea for help and answer it. The road called. He answered. And somewhere behind him, a little girl named Lily was learning that she had a voice worth using, instincts worth trusting, and the courage to speak up when something felt wrong. That alone made 400 miles worth every single inch of pavement. Thank you for watching. If this story reminded you to trust your instincts, to speak up when something feels wrong, and to never underestimate the power of paying attention, please share it. Subscribe to Bike Diaries for more stories that prove heroes are everywhere. Courage comes in all forms, and sometimes the smallest person in the room has the biggest impact. Tell us in the comments, what would you have done in Lily's place?